Welcome, everybody. I'm so happy to see you, old friends and new. And I'm just thrilled beyond measure to be here with my friend Linda. I think, did we meet through the guild, the EFT Guild?
We did. We
Hmm.
did meet through the guild, the wonderful guild that I love so much.
Yeah, and there's a lot of guild members here. So, Linda sent me just like as a gift an Akashic record reading, and it kind of blew my socks off. I had never had anything like that. My own kind of personal guidance was to not really do too much of that, to just follow my heart and not do what other people or the stars or anything else told me. But when I read it, like my mouth was just dropping open. It said something like, your main thing is teaching and learning. So anybody that knows me, it's like, oh, yes. And but there were some other like little hidden things. She said that like one of my life lessons or something was in achieving. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, because it seems so egoic in a way. But another one was receiving, another one was being centered. But how that just helped me was it helps me be true to myself because like even now sometimes people say, why are you doing this? It's like, why are you working? It's like, you don't need to do that, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
But it's like, why? But I kind of do. And it's like, why do I need this, right? And it's not from a lack, it's from a joy.
Yeah. Because
It,
you have to do it, Robin. You have to do it.
it's like a seed, right? That's
Yeah.
the picture that I got today. It's like a seed sprouting. It's like, and it was kind of like my own judgment, right, of what that was. So anyway, it's been freeing for me. It's been blossoming for me. And I said 2 or 3 years ago, would you like to do this for the energy circle? Because I just thought this is so wonderful, but we had to wait till the right time, and this is the right time.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you. Thank you. So, you know how sometimes things just fall into your lap like a wonderful coincidence? So, that actually happened to me last night. We watched the Billy Joel HBO documentary. And it was like a masterclass in soul purpose. I'm like, this is the perfect thing for me to watch. So you're watching Billy Joel. It's like a 5 hour thing or something, but he's on stage like a lot of it. And you look into his face and he is glowing. He's alive. It's like his light is shining from the inside out. He's so alive when he's on stage. And so at the end of it, he said, music is my life and it saved my life. And that's the exact way you feel about soul purpose, right? So he's a great example. Do you think he lived like an easy peasy life? Anybody know anything about him? But the I'll just say, no, he did not. He is like the rest of us. He had ups and downs and challenges and heartbreak. He had a dad that was unavailable in every way, just incredible. He had a almost fatal motorcycle accident. He had a business manager who he chose. It was his best friend and one of his former brother-in-laws. And the guy embezzled, listen to this, $90 million. I mean, talk about betrayal, right? But he didn't spend 10 years in court because that's not what he was meant to do. He said, I'm going to just go back and earn the money. And that's what he did. He fell down with alcohol, he did all kinds of stuff. But in that, he returned to purpose over and over and over again. And he knew as a young child that music would be his life. So sometimes that happens too, that we have a knowing, like he didn't even graduate from high school. He's like, I don't care about college. I want music. And so aren't we lucky that he shared that gift with us in the world? Um, So, we're going to talk about soul purpose from an Akashic Records perspective. And the last thing we're going to do is an Akashic Record experience, like a meditation, so that you can see how that type of higher guidance can help illuminate your way. And there's other ways, right? There's tarot cards and meditation and all kinds of things. But the Akashic Records is just my favorite, and Robin gave me this opportunity. So here we are. We're going to talk all things soul purpose. And hopefully by the end of this, you're going to have some strong clues about what yours are. And maybe you already do. I know a lot of you do. But maybe you'll just get a little more clarity about it. So people always want to know, how in the world did you come up with the Akashic Records and soul purpose? So I'll just spend like a minute and just tell you that um, when I was in 1995, I think I was in my 40s. Anyways, my friend and I went to an angel intuitive, and this wonderful lady, her name was Jackie. So she did the reading, and at the end of it, she took my hands and she said, Linda, if you don't change, you will die without doing what you came here to do. Really? I came here to do something and I'm going to die without doing it? Like, she really got my attention. And I saw her once a year for the next 20 years because she did only would see people once a year. She didn't want to have people dependent on her. And every single year she gave me that same message. If you don't change, you're going to die without doing what you came here to do. So it got my attention, but did I change? No, because I had no idea how to do it. I honestly didn't. And what she was talking about was this pattern of putting everybody's needs ahead of my own. I was always the last. My husband would be like, why are you always the last one at the table? And that's how I was. And so what that led to was illness. Like, I had all kinds of crazy illnesses, including spinal meningitis and these weird lung infections they couldn't figure out, and breast cancer, depression. I just lived like I was going through the motions, right? Life felt really empty for me most of my life because I didn't honor myself. And that's partly what we came here to do, right? Now I know that those are symptoms or, red flags that if you're feeling like that, you're not aligned. It's the opposite. I was so far out of alignment. So, anyways, luckily for me, another wonderful coincidence, I found EFT when I retired. And I met the most amazing people like that community. Gwyneth, what she's created, I've never been part of a group like that. People are so generous there. And I don't know, does everybody know what EFT is? Like, do I need to talk about that? Or but it's tapping, and the main idea of it is emotional freedom, which is about loving and accepting yourself exactly as you are. So EFT was, I mean, I have goosebumps even talking about EFT. Um, so at some point, I was talking to a friend, a guild member, and it was about 5 or 6 years ago. And I got my next clue about life purpose. And this time it came in the form of a Christmas gift. So at that time it was COVID, right? Couldn't do anything. And so I was kind of whining to her. I know I was, that I'm not even going to get a gift from my husband this year because we always gave each other adventures, like experiences. And they didn't have to be big. Sometimes they were a Broadway play, or we like to go to the comedy shop, stuff like that. But everything was closed. So I'm like, not only are we home alone, but no present, like a little kid. And she goes, I've got it. Do not worry. I have the perfect gift for you. It's called soul realignment. I just did it with this woman, Fiona from Scotland. I know you will like it. So I'm like, okay, great. I went downstairs. Jim, you want to have your soul realigned? He's like, okay. I'm not doing anything else, right? And so about 2 weeks later, doing soul realignment. I didn't even look at what it was. I didn't even look at her website because I kind of wanted to be surprised. It was a present, right? So I find myself on Zoom talking to Fiona, and it was like she was looking into my soul. I mean, I was like this the whole time. I'm like, how do you know that? Like, wow. But an hour later, I knew for certain, without any doubt, I'm not broken. I never was broken. And all those little things that I judge myself on, they're actually what I'm meant to be. Like it was so freeing. Like Robin said, it was like, wow. I kind of went from saying, how long do I have to be here? I'm never coming back here again. It's really hard here, to saying, hey, I've got time left. Like it's never too late to discover your purpose, whether you were 69 like I was, or, a lot of you are probably 20, 30, 40, 50. So it doesn't matter how long it takes. It just matters that you find it. So that's kind of what we're talking about, finding soul purpose, which is, life changing. Um, so let's just break it down just a little. So the word soul, these two words in combination are really powerful. So the word soul, how I view that is, it's the ancient wise part of us that travels from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime and is always there. So it's the part of you that chose to be here right now in your body at this time in history. So always traveling here. So I should have mentioned something. You really don't have to take notes because I'm going to send you all the notes. I'm sorry, I missed that. So I think it's more important just to be present if you can be. so, um, anyway, so that ancient part of you that travels from lifetime to lifetime, that's here on this planet right now. And then the word purpose, you kind of know what it means, right? It's why do I create something? Like it's the why that Simon Sinek talks about. Start with the why. That's the purpose part of it. So soul purpose is your soul's purpose, which is a whole different thing. Like Robin said it kind of well. She does these things that make, it doesn't matter to anybody else. This is like very, very personal and very sacred and very spiritual. So soul purpose, why do we come here? That's a really good question. The biggest reason you come here is to share your soul gifts. So here's what I think of soul gifts. Soul gifts are embedded in you when you are created. And whoever you think of is in charge, or the one, or God, or spirit, or source, gifts you these gifts. And they're embedded in you. They are always there. It's part of your spiritual DNA. So every single time you come here, that's part of why you come. Now, they might, like, let's talk about Robin's gift of healing. In one lifetime, she might be, an EFT, a body code person. In another lifetime, she might be a doctor. So it's not that they are expressed the same, it's just that at the core, they are the same gifts. So it's really easy to see other people's gifts. And so I just want to play with that idea for a little bit. So I'm just going to give you 4 people, and you, I promise, will know what their gifts are without knowing them personally, because these are people you don't know personally. So when I say Oprah, what do you think her soul gifts are? And maybe you could just write it in the chat, and Robin could say it. Is that okay, Robin? Oprah. You don't even need her last name.
Communication,
Yes.
connection, storytelling, sharing, teaching, visionary,
Yeah,
uplift.
right. And I think she's a thought disruptor too. She disrupted my whole idea about life. She like brought us a lot into consciousness. So yeah, perfect witnessing. So how about Gandhi? What did Gandhi come here for? What is his gifts? Leadership, benevolence, peace, peacemaking. Beautiful. You guys are so smart. See, isn't it easy to see somebody else's? How about Seinfeld?
Humor.
Yeah, yeah, humor. He makes us laugh. He brings levity to the world. All of these are so important. One's not more important than the other, but as a whole, they're all really, really important. So your soul gifts are about your magic, um, your passion, your talents, big, big things, right? And they're not just one thing. They're multidimensional. They have a lot of different aspects to them. So just I just want to pause for a minute. Is everything kind of making sense? Any question or anything?
And I love thinking that humor is just as important as peacemaking,
Yeah.
right?
And it is, Robin. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's
Yeah,
really a beautiful way to, it's as spiritual as sacred.
yes. Yes, it is. Exactly right. I love that too. So why don't we think a little bit about what your gifts might be? So let me just give you a couple examples of people I've worked with that have taught me about their gifts. So how about you're in a meeting, you're at one of those tables and somebody's running the meeting and everybody's kind of thinking the same thing, but there's one person there and they're willing to figure out the truth and they're willing to share it. Huge, right? And everybody else is thinking, thank God. He's saying everything everybody else was thinking, right? So, truth teller. Um, so let's say you walk into someone's house and you're just like, so relaxed, so held. You just want to sit down and stay there. Everything's organized and beautiful and wonderful colors. So their gift is organization, feng shui, support for other people. They have a lot of aspects of gifts, right? How about somebody that's a creator and they maybe are building bridges, they may be building a new way to work with energy or a new way to manifest wealth. It can be anything that they're creating, but that's what they're really good at. And then another one is if you've ever had a coach or a teacher, Robin falls into this, that can take really complex issues and within just a couple of words can explain it to the rest of us in a way we get it. Like I so appreciate all of these gifts. Somebody that is just really good at logic, they can see step 1 through 10 instantly, where, the rest of us are like overwhelmed. How are we going to do that? Very calmly, I'll show you how to do it. And the calm and the peace, like a lot of you, that's what you do for people, right? You help them regulate their systems. So, sees a higher view, a spiritual perspective. Um, did I mention common sense? That's one of my favorites too. So, common sense is not common at all. People that have that are just, to me, like really brilliant. So let's just think for you now. You just have a couple of ideas about that. So, what is it that lights you up? What is it that you get up in the morning saying, oh my gosh, I get to do this today? Something that brings you ease, because the opposite of living in your purpose is struggle. If something's really, 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 really hard, that's probably something that says, should I be doing this? What brings you immense joy that lights you up like Billy Joel? And I think we're doing okay time-wise. If anybody wants to share in the chat an idea that they have about that. Because sometimes somebody else gets you like thinking about yours. And if not, that's okay. We can go on too. So I don't see any, so we'll just keep going. So wildflower, you have so many babies. The littles. That's what I learned from you. The spiritual aspect of littles. So thank you for sharing that. And Susan, hers is up, creating beautiful spaces from Claudia. You're my feng shui soul. So today we're going to be exploring soul purpose from the perspective of the Akashic Records. And that's a spiritual modality that teaches us we're a soul in a human body here to do many wonderful things, including sharing our gifts and learning. We're going to explore some more about those reasons. But first, I just wanted to give you a little bit about the Akashic Records, what they are, why I like them. So, the Akashic Records are part of the quantum field, and you can think of them as an energetic database that holds the story of your soul throughout all of your incarnations. So there's a lot of information to be had, and they're a bridge to the divine, and they are only the energy in the records is only compassion, respect, kindness. And it's so much fun to work in the records. I mean, the energy is so lighthearted and beautiful. And I really encourage everybody that I work with to read the records for themselves too. You really don't have to be a psychic or a medium to do it. You can learn how to do it. It really is the ultimate safe place to ask important questions, ask for healing, understanding about challenges, and discover really all the reasons why you came here. They offer us a higher point of view, which is always the best point of view, right? Because we can make more sense of our struggles and our challenges. So that's why I love the Akashic Records. Soul purpose. So, what does that even mean? We know it's really important and really big, but let's just break it down just a little bit. So, the word soul, I think of as the wise and ancient part of you that travels from lifetime to lifetime and who chose to be here in your body at this time in history and on this planet. So you chose to come here, right, for an important reason. Um, and your soul is also your higher self. So it's constantly guiding you towards fulfilling your purpose. So the second word, purpose, I think you know what that means. It's your why, the why that Simon Sinek talks about in his books and his, TED Talks that have gotten billions of views, I think. They're so good. Anyways, it's your reason for being. And then it's your reason for doing too, right? Um, and your reason for creating things. So, in the end, it all boils down to you are your purpose. And I just want to say part of all of our soul purposes, each and every one of us, is to remember we are, first of all, divine beings. And so it's easy to forget when you come here. But what your goal is to know yourself at soul level and to love and accept yourself, even though you're in a human body, which it makes it harder to do that. But I promise you, it is absolutely possible and worth the trip. Soul gifts. This is about your divine energy. And the best way to describe it is your brilliance, your magic, your passion, your talent, your unique energy. And it ties to what you're naturally good at, even though you might not honor that gift that you're naturally good at, because we kind of have gift envy. We want to be like other people. But at our core, we are exactly right. And just leaning into these gifts is very powerful. So when you do that, everything's available ease, flow, joy. And I just want to remind you, they're not about like one itty bitty thing. They're multidimensional. They have tons of aspects. And they're just beautiful, layered with all kinds of sprinkling of that magic that you have to offer. I hope that you've enjoyed our time together and that you learned about life from a powerful spiritual perspective, which is you're here for just a little bit to share your gifts and learn a few things. And sometimes we get these things right, and sometimes we get them wrong. Either way, it's okay because we're learning from both the light and the dark. That's part of the special thing about Earth, that the physical allows us to do that. So just remember that, it's about progress, not perfection. It's about like this guy on the path. He doesn't have to hurry up, or he's just walking and moving at his own pace, and he's making progress. And that's totally enough, perfectly enough. And the great news is you do not have to do any of these hard things by yourself, because always, 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 your higher self, your soul is with you, always trying to guide you into safety and situations that will bring you joy. So, always they're speaking to you through intuition. Um, and I'm here too. My highest intention is to help people navigate this incredibly beautiful, but oftentimes, let's face it, messy, but always sacred experience that we call life on earth. We're all in this together, right? So I would love for you, if you want to continue this conversation, you can book a complimentary discovery session with me to talk more about your own soul purpose. So I really am so grateful that I had this opportunity to talk to you. And I just wish you well on your journey and say thank you, thank you, thank you.